Hello students, welcome to the lecture on managing operations, and after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Understand concept of managing operations of information technology, discuss about IT operations, explain enterprise IT management system, understand the techniques for standardizing IT operations, and explain communicating IT standards to the business. Let us first know the meaning of operations management. It refers to running the day-to-day operations of a given business. It can differ dramatically depending on the type of business being run and the operations undertaken. Managing operations of information technology. Managing practices in industry as a whole are undergoing profound changes as the methodologies of total quality management (TQM), just-in-time (JIT), and the theory of constraints (TOC) are being absorbed. Theory of constraints (TOC) and information technology (IT). TOC and IT interact in three modes. First, IT aiming applies TOC techniques to the organization. In the second type of interaction, IT constraints IT executives should apply TOC principles to expose the constraints of the IT function. These constraints restrict the application of IT to the organization's constraints. In the third type of interaction, computer-aided TOC CAT information technology should be applied to facilitate utilization of TOC techniques in the organization. IT operations. IT operations refer to the utility services provided by the IT department and is used synonymously with the term IT infrastructure. IT operations cover management of hardware, network security, enterprise security, communications, user administration, and email systems. Operations incorporate the following processes and areas are as follows: problem management, help desk, LAN/WAN infrastructure management, systems management, security management, email system support, telecom equipment and administration, disaster recovery, business continuity and contingency planning, backup and restore procedures, test plans, asset management, configuration management, contract and software distribution management, inventory, daily systems operations, cost recovery, facilities, job scheduling, output management performance, production control, quality assurance, change control, change requests, analysis of impact of changes, test plans, demand management, service level management, service request management, workload monitoring. Problem management. Problem management, example, help desk is the overall support infrastructure, tools, processes, procedures, policies, and organization focused on resolving and reacting to end-user problems or issues. Problem management is generally organized into three distinct tiers. Tier 1 support, usually made up of help desk personnel answering phone calls and email from end users. Tier 2 support is generally made up of more technically specialized personnel, including programmers for application problems, network administrators for network problems, or system administrators for systems or server-related problems. Tier 3 support is comprised of the most highly skilled IT specialists and may include outside vendor experts and vendor support personnel. LAN/WAN network infrastructure management. LAN/WAN network infrastructure management incorporates the design, implementation, administration, and monitoring of a company's network infrastructure. Systems management. Systems management incorporates the monitoring and administration of a company's system software and servers. System administrators are responsible for ensuring that systems are running at optimal levels, operating systems are continuously updated with the appropriate patches and releases, server capacity meets business needs, daily backups are performed, and servers do not have unplanned or unexpected outages. Security management. Security management includes user administration, adding, changing, and deleting system users, security or firewall installation support and monitoring, virus protection, intrusion detection, security policies and procedures, and data transmission encryption. Email system support. Email system support is a unique operations area because of the heavy reliance most companies have on email systems. Email systems are often segregated and organized based on geography differences so that users in a given geography can enjoy the maximum performance from the email system. Telecom equipment and administration. Telecom equipment and administration is a unique operations area because of its tight integration with outside service providers, local telecoms, long-distance providers, and equipment suppliers, and its necessary geographic segregation. Disaster recovery. A disaster is generally described as an event that makes the continuation of normal system functions impossible. A disaster recovery plan, sometimes called a business continuity plan, should be in place to outline steps to take in the event of a disaster. A disaster recovery plan helps to minimize the negative effects and quickly restore critical business functions. Asset management. Asset management is the formal tracking and inventorying of a company's hardware and software assets. However, asset management involves more than just the inventory process of recording the company's assets. It involves procurement of those assets, configuration of the assets, as well as the integration of the accounting for the assets with the company's accounting and financial systems. Daily systems operations. Daily operations consist of functions such as batch scheduling and monitoring, managing print queues, physical print distribution, server and printer hardware maintenance, and IT facilities maintenance. Change control. Change control is a set of systematic and formalized policies and processes for introducing and implementing changes, hardware or applications, into a managed environment. Demand management. Demand management consists of managing demands on operations staff capacity for projects and service from business users. The operations demand management process includes setting expectations for response times, taking action to minimize requests through continual improvements, and moving IT resources to the most highly demanded and mission-critical activities. Techniques for standardizing IT operations. A large number of operation tasks are ideal candidates for standardization, including employee events, additions, moves, departures, data backup process, system shutdown or startup, voicemail password resets, large volume print job management, invoices, payroll, checks, capacity management, system upgrades, change management, new desktop rollout, first round vendor invoice verification. A variety of benefits are associated with the implementation of SOPs for easily routined tasks. The most significant of these include training or staff skills, staff productivity, work quality, measurement standards, operations consistency. Enterprise IT Management System. Enterprise Management Systems, EM systems, are network management systems, MSSs, capable of managing devices, independent of vendors and protocols in Internet Protocol IP-based enterprise networks. The network and software architecture of EM systems. Netware architecture. This perspective describes the physical network topology of the managers and agents. Software architecture. This perspective describes the software construction of the manager and agent components. Network architectures. Network architecture can be many different things. In some cases, it refers to the planning, specifications and placement of physical parts of a networked system, such as a phone or computer network. Other usages refer only to the actual physical parts of those systems. The original usage of the term network architecture placed it specifically in the planning phase of a project. The term also may refer to a network using only a specific company's hardware, such as a Cisco network architecture. Software architecture. The term software architecture intuitively denotes the high-level structures of a software system. It can be defined as the set of structures needed to reason about the software system, which comprise the software elements, the relations between them, and the properties of both elements and relations. In computing, software architecture is a schematic blueprint of a software application. It is created by the system architecture team. This architecture includes a complete set of design documents that outline how a software application will interact with hardware, networks, and other components of an enterprise. EM systems software architectures can be classified into the following categories. Element Management Systems, EMSs. These classes of systems is developed by computer and network switch manufacturers and are specialized to manage only a particular device. Management Platforms. These classes of systems are actually developed framework for NMSs. Management Applications. This class of systems can implement one or more FCAPS functions and may implement these functions in both categories depending on the scope of the managed resources. Management Systems. This class of systems provides core services which are accessed via APIs to the management applications. Communicating IT standards to the business. After the IT standards have been determined through the previous analysis, they should be clearly documented as a preface to communicating them throughout the organization. The first step after documenting the standards is to have them debated and validated internally by the IT department. The next step is the ratification of the standards by the IT steering committee. The final step in the review should be a cover sheet approving the standards or updates to the standards signed by the members of the IT steering committee or members of the company senior management team. Summary. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learnt in this lecture. Management practices in industry as a whole are undergoing profound changes as the methodologies of total quality management TQM, just-in-time JIT, and the theory of constraints TOC are being absorbed. Problem management is generally organized into three distinct tiers. Security management includes user administration, security or firewall installation support and monitoring, 165 managing operations, virus protection, intrusion detection, security policies and procedures, and data transmission encryption. Enterprise management systems, EM systems, are network management systems, NMSs, capable of managing devices, independent of vendors and protocols in Internet Protocol IP-based enterprise networks. Large organizations use these enterprise frameworks as a roadmap to guide the internal design of all business systems.